Time for ukulele. Let's go post the link on the website, jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where you should go to become famous and to get sheet music and to hang out with our entire wildly popular group of ukulele instrumentalists who are going to bedazzle the world with our lilting tones. And hit update and see if I did this correctly. And then everybody will come rushing in. Let me know if the sound is good. Let me know. The lighting is a little weird here. The sun moved so far south, it started pouring into my studio here. And so I had to put some dark curtains up. And now it's too dark in here. But at least hopefully you can see me. I have a little bit of a sepia tone to myself. Sound is really hold. I don't know what that means, Vic. Sound is really hold. Sound is really hold your sound, please. Please hold your sound. She's fixing it. She's fixing her typo. And then it'll come back and it'll say, what I meant to say is, today mine was my autocorrect on my phone. I said, I will leave the papers by your door. Or I will leave the papers against your door. And it came out as, I will leave the papers against your daughter. And I thought, well, that'll be awkward, but I'll try. So that was what it was. Let's see if Helen River wrote back about that. Mm-hmm. Oh, she just wrote, mission accomplished. Dun, 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 dun. Because I left the papers against her daughter. She does not have a daughter. She is a daughter. She runs the building here. She's awesome. And except that she doesn't watch these videos, which is disgusting. She's busy doing whatever it is that you do to run a building like this. It's an event center. We're an event center. Of course, they closed it down, and there's all these crazy rules about getting it started back up. And not crazy, important, Gary. And yeah, so that's that. This is my harmonica briefcase. I use this to put this guy. So I have my inexpensive chromatic. I have my expensive chromatic. I have in this pocket, I have key of F and key of C. They both go in here. And then I use a 3-ring binder for that class because music is still ongoing and in flux. And so I use a 3-ring binder. Gets in there. These guys clip up like this. Look at these old-fashioned little things on here. And there we go. So now that's the end of harmonica for today. Let's move on to ukulele for today. Caleb is back again. Caleb must have away from school. Delighted you're here, Caleb. Caleb is one of the finest musicians that I get the chance to work with. Naturally talented young man. Want to punch him in the face sometimes because he's so good. But he's been able to take advantage of our lessons here once in a while. And I'm back again. Sorry. Always delighted to have you, Caleb. Always delighted. Nancy is here. Happy Thursday to you. Hey, Bridge. Bridge is in from Florida. Can you imagine? Florida is. Have I told you my Florida story? I was in Florida one time, and it was back in the day, and I had a student. I was a speech and debate coach in New Mexico, and I had a student qualify for nationals, and so her mother and I went down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, was where the national tournament was. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be summertime. Going to go by the beach. It's going to be girls. It's going to be awesome. I was much younger then, and and then of course I was with this one student and her mother. Well, I had no responsibility as a supervisor, so I was sort of the week on my own. And when you go to these things as a coach, you also end up judging. So you spend most of your time sitting in rooms listening to debaters, and but when I would go out to grab lunch or go walk and go around the town or whatever, or in the evenings, it was going to be awesome, except for the fact they were having record-setting rains in Florida that week. And I am told that it rains like heck in Florida to begin with. And even the locals were like, whoa, sure are getting a lot of rain. It was as if for 8 straight days they had turned on a shower, and that's what it was. It was unbelievable. unbelievable how much rain was coming down. And for the entire time I was there, the entire 8 days, unbelievable amount of rain. And then at the end, as we were driving to the airport, you drive along the beach, and through the fog and mist and stuff, I could kind of see where the people in swimsuits would have been had it not been ghastly weather. And so my experience in Fort Lauderdale has nothing to do with what they show in the spring break movies. It has to do with I honestly did not know it was possible that it could rain that much. I'm from Denver. We get a rains for 15 minutes, and we all start freaking out. Everything floods, and and we say things like, "I like the rain." We have no idea what real rain is about. It was shocking how much rain came down. All right, let's get started on today. Today we actually have a fairly straightforward lesson, and we're not going to spend a ton of time on it. We're going to knock it out, and we're going to be ready for talk about Friday. Um, Donna's just down the road in Lakewood. I want to have Donna has a very fancy Donna Devine, right? Donna DeVee, right? She sounds very fancy, so I want her to be from someplace like I don't know Switzerland, but she's from Lakewood, which is right over there. I can see it from here. Evelyn is in. She is from someplace fancy. She's from Ecuador. So glad to see Evelyn. Briggs having an unstable connection. My connection's been rock solid today. So, like we've all discovered, there's the connection to the internet service provider. Then there's the internet service provider to YouTube. Then there's YouTube. Then there's the internet from YouTube to your ISP. Then there's the ISP to your house. Somewhere along all of those places, there could be catastrophe along the way. So Bridget. I'm going to say Bridget. That's what I'm going to do. That way I don't have to make a decision. Bridget, I hope you're able to stay with us today. It's a bummer. I'm in Florida. Nancy's in Florida too, and you should. I'll give Florida another chance. I will. I really will. I know it's beautiful there. I absolutely get it. I know why people are going there. But for 8 days, this is about 1996 or so. For 8 days in 1996, it was the worst place I've ever been. So. It was a lot of rain. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I had a great aunt who lived down in the Florida Panhandle, and then my sister, for a short time, lived down not far from there, Shreveport, Louisiana. No. She was in the military base up on the Panhandle for a short time. Can't remember the name of that place. Fort Walton Beach, maybe? Does that sound right? So she lived in Florida for a little while. So I know Florida's fine. It just those 8 days were not fine. They were well. I guess I have a lifelong story to tell. So there's that. So I guess that's fine. I'm going to be drinking coffee because now I can't drink coffee in the morning after a certain point because I play harmonica with those guys. So now I have my coffee every day late, and it makes me grouchy. But it's noon here, and I'm still drinking my morning coffee. Uke Noob is in. Good to see you, bud. We're going to play Carnival of Venice today. Carnival of Venice is a real legit piece of classical music written by Paganini. And we, of course, you may or may not know this. Paganini was a guitarist as well. And so he's written a lot of well thought of pieces for guitar, which I don't teach, but because they're advanced, they're hard to play, but they're lovely. And so the fact that we're playing some Paganini on ukulele is awesome. And Carnival of Venice, I want you to think about this. If you've ever been to Venice, imagine how awesome that is, and then add a carnival on top of it. And so Venice, if you haven't been, it's kind of like Disneyland. It's absolutely picture perfect. There are guys on boats that they row with these big oars, or poles, really, right? Some of them are on oars, some of them are on poles. And there's a guy singing Italian opera, and it's everything that you could imagine. If you were going to make a fake Italy, you would make it exactly like Venice. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious how perfect it is there. and everything costs 5 times as much as you think it should. And what else about Venice do I know? The first hour you're there, it's the most amazing place you've ever been, and then every hour after that, it's exactly the same thing over and over. Incredible views, the same 6 tourist shops, water surprisingly close. It's lovely, and it's super fun. And then after that, it's the same. So you don't need to spend a lot of time in Venice, but you do need to go once for the day. It's a nice day trip. Um, Now, picture it being perfect and awesome, and then having a carnival on top of that, and you really do have something. Do I not have this downloaded? Carnival of Venice? What? Wait a minute. Where is it? Am I in the right thing? I am. All right, so we're going to chat while I download it real quick. Sorry, guys. Um, the Let's talk about Friday. Tomorrow's our concert day, so we'll talk about that now while I'm busy scrambling to download this thing. Um, we have our end of the week concert every Friday. We gather up all the songs from the week, and then we have a concert. And so that concert is starring you, and you are going to play at your highest ability tomorrow. Hopefully, that's will be a level that makes you proud of yourself, and that when you walk in, you know, really put your best effort of show up tomorrow. You're going to have your book ready to go, have everything in alphabetical order in your book. I think that's the easiest way to arrange it. And then if I find Carnival in Venice in here, I'm going to lose my mind. No, it's not. Okay, good. Then warm up before you show up to class tomorrow, so that you've got all your fingers working the way they're supposed to. Carnival of Venice ukulele, right there it is. And then I hit download, and then it says okay, and then it does it, and then I have to hit it okay again. All right, now we should be in good shape. Tomorrow we will play. We'll start off with your Better Bar worksheet. Remember this one? And we'll play that one. And then we will play the key of G arpeggio, which we did on Monday. So make sure you've taken a minute to review that one. It is surprisingly, the key of G arpeggio, I think, is the best introduction into really getting your right hand to its high level. It's got a little bit of everything in that song, not everything, but almost everything is in that song that you're going to want to be able to do as an ukulele player. So spend a little bit of time looking at that one today. It's important. I do think that. And then Simple Gifts, the one we covered yesterday. It's going to be a whole lot like Carnival of Venice. F chord, C chord. Just being able to play in multiple ways in proper timing, really like world-class melody, that sort of thing. That's something that we just continue to do at all levels that I teach. And then, of course, we will wrap up tomorrow with playing Carnival of Venice, which we will do now. All right, that's it for tomorrow. I'd say take a minute to warm up prior to showing up, and then that's that. Bridget said, did I say hi, Uke? Uke Noob has made it in from Argentina. Couple from Florida, couple from Argentina, couple from South America, a few people from Colorado, a couple from Oregon, right? I love having you guys from all over the world. I think it's so exciting. January and February are great. Yeah, this was June. I think it was June, if I remember right. And apparently it rains a little in June. Carnival of Venice has 2 chords, F chord, which we learned yesterday, which we've learned all along. F chord should be nothing for you at this point, hopefully. And C7. That's the easiest chord pair on ukulele when you're looking at 1 and 5, F, G, A, B, C, F and C. If you make it a C7, sounds great. Da da dun da dun da dun da dun dun dun. I could write a song with just 2 chords, really, really easy, 2 chords. Yeah. Getting better on this thing. That's what we're working on, right? We're all just working on getting a little better. I am too, it turns out. Okay? I'm just always working on getting a little better. I think the fact that you show up, that you're working on it, that's it. That's that is music. That's what we do. Is wherever we're at today, trying to get a little bit further tomorrow. Let's talk Carnival of Venice. Since there are no lyrics, it's impossible to sing, but just know that chord and that chord are going to show up as a big deal in this song. Let's run through the melody. You'll recognize the melody. It's one of those things that it's just around you just to hear it, and um, we will play through there. Anytime we start to look at a melody, the first thing I do is look around and see what kind of tragedies are about to befall me. So I see some ones, so I'm probably going to play in first position. See some threes. Okay, that means my finger's going to go there. So I got a ring and index and ring. I'm going to be using those. And then, daggone it, there's some fives that show up. So I want to take a minute to think about, all right, probably going to be playing those pinky fingers on five. Probably going to be doing that. So I got to stretch that up just a little bit to get to those fives. And then I'm get all the way to the bottom, and I'm like, wait, that's all there is? There's an 8 at measure 25. Okay, so take a minute to know that 8 is right there, and that shouldn't be a surprise, because one of the things that happens in music is we like things to be sort of have bookends, and so if we're playing in the key of F, which is this note, the other F note, the next F note that shows up is actually on the first string at 8. That's also an F, and so it's not surprising in the key of F that you're going to see an 8 once in a while. And it only shows up there, and then of course on the very last measure. So let's talk about when you have an 8 and you're mostly down here, you're doing fine, reaching your pinky up to 5. Now you have this 8. You look at the measure before it, 0, 3, and then you're going to go to 8, and then back to 3. That would be a situation where I'm going to probably just go ahead and plant my index finger on 3, look down, get my 8, make sure I'm on 3, and then get back in first position after that. So when you have notes that go way up the fretboard, what I like to do is think about, all right, I know I'm going to play that high note with my pinky, so where should I plant my index finger to make that go smoothly? On guitar, you don't get as many choices because the frets are so wide, but on ukulele, you get a lot of choices about, all right, I got to play an 8. I want to go ahead and plant my finger on 3, my index, and then I can reach up, grab that 8, and get back to 3, and I don't have to do any extra motion. But there's no way to stay in first position and reach your pinky all the way up there. That's not going to happen. So be thinking about plan B, which is probably planting your index on 3, playing the 8, getting back to 3, and then go back into first position playing. All right, so let's play the melody, okay, from the top, nice and slow. We're in 3, which means there's 3 beats in every measure. First 2 measures are rests, and then we're going to play. So I'll count in 2, and we'll go. 1, 2. Does it sound familiar? Two, 3, 1, 2. One. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 2. And then you're going to go, and so that I didn't give you a ton of turnaround time there, so don't fall asleep when you get into 31. Rest, and then go right back up to the top. Okay, so you don't have a long turnaround in measure 31. It's just right back into the song. Dun 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 dun. Okay, and so jump around, and I will try to get it as close to exact as I can, so that you can get a sense of what that should feel like. Is just really turn around real quick. And then, of course, the second time we come through, you skip measure 31, and you're going to play 32, which is just a nice little run at the end. Bong. Okay. And I like that at the end when you have when you play that 3, you're still in first position rather than playing. Go ahead and give yourself a chance to do something fun, which is to make that slide. And then a little vibrato. We probably haven't talked about this yet, but when you are get on a high note like that, especially an ending high note that's supposed to be a little bit long, take your finger, whatever finger you end up using, and just wiggle it back and forth, just a little bit. Okay, don't actually lift it up. Don't really move it. Just wiggle it, and you get a little vibrato out of your ukulele. You know, it always ends up sounding kind of fun. Okay, all right, let's give it a try from the top. We'll play it 2 times through. Be ready when you get to 31 to get right back up to the top and go again. From the top, count in 2, 1, 2. 2. 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 4. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. Okay. Good. I blew the 8. I did exactly what I told you not to do. Okay. And so probably when you are thinking about this is going to be a song for me, I'm going to play this song a lot. Write yourself a note at major 24 to move into 3rd position, and then that way it's going to be easier for you to get your 8 in. I got caught. I went 3. Oh shoot! I'm supposed to be up here, so I got busted on that. Lovely little melody, right? Did not super complicated. There's just a handful of a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, and then one moment where it jumps way up there. But for the most part, it sticks around and really works well on a ukulele. All right, so you know your chords, no big deal on the chords. Know the melody, not terribly difficult. So now what we want to do is combine those two. Okay, and then we're done for today. Okay, all right, so grab your 3. First note is a 3. Next thing is odd, right? The note is a 5, but you have an F chord. So you could put your F chord on, put your pinky up there. Pretty good chance you're going to blow that. But it turns out there's also an F chord. If you have a bar on 5 and a pinky on 8, that's also an F chord. So it's going to be way more efficient to play with 3, drop your full bar on 5. It sounds nice. Then go back to your 3. This is the only chord in the entire piece that's a bummer. There's a B flat note right here, but he's got it on top of an F chord. And so you're probably going to put 2 fingers there and either a little miniature bar there with your middle finger up here. That's probably what I would probably do. But I might put 2 fingers here and my ring finger way up on the top string 2nd fret. Either of those are acceptable choices. The more standard way of handling that would be have your F chord, but then roll this down and just cover those 2 strings with 1 finger. That's probably the most standard way of doing it. Now you've got a 3 right before that, so you're going to have to move relatively efficiently with miniature bar, ring finger, or I'm sorry, middle finger on the top string. And I'm getting a little bit of bummy sound there. Don't lose sleep over it. You want to get that pretty sound, but it's harder. It's going to be harder than you think at this moment. Okay, then let's keep moving on. So the last note of measure 2 is a 0. Got a full C7 at measure 3. And then use your ring finger to get to 003. Remember, rest stroke. Always have your thumbs rest on the string you're not going to play. Okay, and then let's keep going. At measure 4, you hit this again, and then hit 3-0. Then a nice C7. Ring finger on the other 3. Slide it pinky onto 5. Back to the 3. And a normal F chord at 7. A couple of decorative notes there. When you see decorative notes that are not, that like the melody is just bong. So when you see other notes in the tough uke, take those seriously. Don't sort of be like, I don't need to do those. You really need to do the decorative notes, because if you sort of halfway do them, they're going to sound like you're making mistakes. But if you do it with a little bit of commitment to them, they're going to sound awesome. That's what you're going to play, is with a little bit of emphasis on those decorative notes, because that's what fingerstyle ukulele is about, is adding in decoration into the basic melody and the basic chords. We're going to take those, combine them together, add in as much as we can in addition to that, and that's where those decorative notes come in. So measure 7, F chord, 1, O1, F chord. And I haven't done anything over here, so I'm not adding any extra work. I'm just keeping my right hand busy. Okay, ring finger on 3 at measure 8. And then back to that nice bar chord on 5. Go grab your 3. Now you've got your pink ring on 3. You put your F chord on. You should be fine that way. Normally I teach you to use a pinky on that, but if your 3 is already on there, just don't move it and add your F chord above it. And then 1 O. Measure 11, you got a C chord, C7. And then 003. Measure 12, you hit the 003 again. And then a 3-0. Another C7 at measure 13. Ring finger on 3. Pinky on 5. Back to the 3. Regular F chord at 15, just 3 strings. Decorative note and your full strum. Ring finger on 3. Grab your F chord with your 3. 1 O. F chord. Ring. Lose the ring. 001. And then O. 3 zeros. 3 O. C7 at measure 21. Hit the 3. Pinky on 5. Back to the 3. And then a nice F chord at measure 23. O1. Strum. And then 3. Now that's where this is the moment, right? You're on this 3. You got to get to 5 and 8. So be very efficient about bar on 5. Pinky on 8. You could, if you are thinking about when you get to measure 24, hitting this with your pinky. Now you can ride your pinky all the way up to 8 and add your bar on last, and you'll get a really, really fancy way of doing it. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm drawing myself a little arrow. I'm going to write pinky on that 3 at the end of 24, because I would like to be able to do like a little zip as I'm getting on to this 5, 5, 5, 8. That's the hard moment of the song, 25, or one of the hard moments of the song. And then you're going to zip all the way back down, and then grab your F chord with the 3. Measure 26 is 1 O, and 27 is a C chord. And then 003. Hit the 003 again. 3 O. C7 at measure 29. Ring finger on 3. pinky on 5, back to the 3, and then a partial F. Don't fall asleep, hit the 3, and go back and play the whole song again. Last time you come through, you're going to skip measure 31, you're going to go straight to 32, and you've got a partial F chord. Then your hand is 0. And then again, slide up, bar on 5, pinky on 8. Okay, so in order to pull that off, you're probably going to want to have your pinky on the last 3 in measure 32. Okay, that's it. You ready to play? Twice through. I'm going to go as slow as I possibly can. Well, that's not true. I'm going to go pretty slow. Not as slow as I possibly could. 1, 2. Again. To the top. Second ending. Isn't that a lovely tune? That's real classical music written by a guy who really composed on a fretted instrument, who really knew how to make music sound Italian. He was a real Italian, and just really, really nice. I was in a little town, I think it's called Lucca, if I remember right, where Paganini, either his birthplace or his death place, or where he did all of his work anyway, there was a little statue of Paganini there in one of the squares, and it was lovely, right? So that's what we got going on with Carnival of Venice. That would be a song that I think, hopefully, the chords are making sense to you. Obviously, F and C7 are not the most challenging chords. That melody, that you're able to play through that melody just as pretty as a peach, and then you can then go through the tough uke here is not the worst of the tough ukes, but it's definitely in terms of introduction to ukulele. It's got just a little bit of everything there. You got some bar chords in there. You got some opportunities to do some slides. You've got to be working your pinky to get it up to 5 and back. So hopefully that sounded nice coming out of your ukulele. And that's what we're going to go with. Okay. So tomorrow, just a reminder, have your book ready to go. We'll start with Make a Better Bar worksheet. We will do Key of G Arpeggio. That's your tough song of the week. We'll do Simple Gifts, which is plenty. Well, not it's by far the easiest song of the week, but it's actually got the most beautiful melody, probably one of the great melodies of all time. So it's worth studying a little bit. And then this piece, which is legit classical music and not dumbed down at all. This is what it is. And so very nice to have some really solid pieces of music for you in your thing. I will see you tomorrow. It looks like I don't know if the chat box is shut down or if you guys just don't have anything fascinating to tell me. So yeah, you are off on your day. Take the next 10-15 minutes, play through everything that we're going to play tomorrow, have it ready and ready to go, and we'll shut this room down for today. Remember, 1 o'clock we have Next Level Ukulele, and I don't remember what we're playing in there today. Oh, we are playing Oh Susanna on a banjo-lele. Oh, I forgot my banjo today. They'll be so mad at me. I didn't get my old Kentucky home done, so we'll have to beg off on that. And then, Vic says she's doing well today. Yay, nice. That's what we want. We want you to do well every day. We want you to do better today than you did yesterday. I don't care if you do well, right? And I'll see you tomorrow, Bridget. You guys have a wonderful day. Oh, also, those of you who want to make your life a misery, we got baritone, exact same lesson in baritone in a different key. So I'll see all of you guys either later today or tomorrow, and go out and do good. Do good. Be safe. Practice. Keep showing up. Subscribe and like. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you soon.